You have been affectionately known by many. You're probably more known by the name Mama Hug than you are your own name.
Oh, yeah.
How on earth did you get the name Mama Hug?
Well, my name is Barbara, which means stranger, misfit, and outcast. And I have always been that. And so one day I had just looked up the definition of my name, and I am in a puddle on the floor. I said, God, why did you name me stranger, misfit, and outcast? That's terrible. He says, but I also named you Sue. And he said, Sue means grace. And he says, because you've been an outcast and you've known my grace, you will take my grace to others who are outcast and strangers and misfits. And I'm going to change your name. Well, I'm thinking he's going to change my name when I get to heaven, you know. And so I'm, you know, thinking, well, when I get to heaven, I'll get a new name. Well, several months later, I was working with Prison Fellowship in Birmingham with a young man who had a transitional home for people who had been in, for men who had been in prison. And so I would go out each Wednesday night and teach solutions to them. Most of those young men smoked, and they wouldn't let them smoke in the house, you know. So they'd stand out in the yard and be smoking when I'd come in. And so I'd, you know, have my books, and I'd give them one of those holy hugs, kind of sideways, you know, because we don't want to do anything unchristian, you know. So I'd hug them as I'm coming in. And I did that for, you know, for about 2.5 months each time. Well, this particular night, it was pouring rain. I've got an umbrella, all of my stuff, and I'm coming up on the porch. And there's this Afro-American man standing up there. He was about 320 pounds, probably about 6'2" or 3". He'd been in for attempted murder. And he's standing up there, and he says, here come that old mama hugging right now. And when he said that, I knew that that was the name that the Lord was giving. How opposite from being a stranger and a misfit to being a mama who hugs the world. And so a lot of times people say, well, I'm not going to call you Mama Hug. I said, well, that's okay. But I probably won't answer if you call me Barbara, because I can go to the mall and somebody can say, Mama, and honey, I'm on it like white on rice. Somebody can say, Barbara, 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 and I don't even, it doesn't register anymore.
Isn't that just like God, to take what used to be and
Yeah.
give you a completely new name, a new identity?
Yeah.
And that's what you have right now. I mean, you're a completely different person
Oh, absolutely.
thanks to the power of God.
Oh, yes, absolutely.